Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So this evening, it's the Nollywood-evening. Welcome to Nollywood. Now, first of all, I have to introduce myself. I'm Cyprian-Josson, and I'm the producer and the host of Nollywood-radio-France. As we try to ask the question, what is Nollywood? We will go to the storylines. What type of stories do we have in these movies? We have stories of love and betrayal. We have revenge and redemption, decadence and deliverance, stories of the people in Africa and abroad. But these stories now are stories written by Africans and again told by Africans for the world. There are some people who say the stories are only for African consumption. But in my own opinion, I say no. When we're talking about cinema, we are talking about a cultural product. And the cultural product should be exported. So if it should be only for Africa, I think we'll be losing out. Now, the point here is the stories that we are telling today are what one African writer, Chimamanda Ngozi, in one of her conferences, tried to differentiate different types of stories. Now, she said when she was in New York, in her university, she had conversation with her roommate, and her roommate looked at her as a single story. Now, Nollywood is now not trying to tell a single story. What Nollywood is telling is the story of Africa, Africans in Africa, the story of the diaspora, Africans in the diaspora, and again, Nollywood is now mixing up with Hollywood. So, coming back to this great writer, Chimamanda Ngozi, what she termed to be single story is when you see somebody, you reduce the person to one story. I mean the stereotypes. For example, the way Africa was looked at before was from the prisons of what we see on the news. It could be drought, it could be war, but now Nollywood is telling all the stories. So Africa now has got a mouthpiece, which is Nollywood. Before we used to say Africans, they have oral tradition. But now, what has changed today? And why Nollywood is able to tell all these stories is one point, one thing that changed changed the way Africans tell their stories is the new information technologies. Without the internet, Nollywood could have not succeeded. Nollywood has got a long way to go. A long way to go because you cannot find Nollywood movies like the French movies on Wednesdays. Now you see the distributors taking the risk to put them on out there. Let me take the example of Chartres. We are just to Chartres is 100 kilometers away from Paris. I mean, for those that are going to listen to this program on my radio. Now it's a province in France. Now we've got a cinema theater here called Les Enfants de Paradis. Now you never see any Nollywood movies there. It doesn't come. But when in terms of the premieres, there are so many premieres coming up. You know, that's where you have the promotion of Nollywood movies. But the internet is doing a wonderful job. The new information technologies compared to 20 years ago, because Nollywood is 21 years now, and the 21 years in existence started with in the DVDs. Now, the terms of distribution, it's only on the internet. So we can say that it's interesting to find this movie, African movie, expanding, going to places all the way from Nigeria, like you said, this is the home, like I said, Nigeria is the home of Nollywood in Africa. And then here is a very big market for Nollywood. There are 100 estimates of population only. You have more than 160 million people. And the filmmakers have a wonderful market here. Now, what type of films are produced here? Now you have you have movies in English. Now you have movies for because English is the main language of Nigeria, northern part of Nigeria. You have the Hausa movies also. And when you go to the east here, you have also the Igbo movies at the same time. And then you still have the Yoruba movies targeting each of the tribes in Nigeria. And again, I saw recently the Edo movies. Now, all this, but the movies that are selling a lot, from the interviews I met, Tunde Kelani, maybe you don't know him, he's one of the Nollywood stars. Now, he produces movies in Yoruba language because of dubbing. He said the problem of dubbing and the market, because Yoruba is spoken in Nigeria, spoken in Benin, spoken also somewhere in Brazil, and again spoken somewhere in Jamaica. So if you go to Jamaica, you might think that you are in Lagos or somewhere people speak Yoruba. They have kept that culture. So they are all enjoying Nollywood movies. And then in London, there's a big Yoruba community that are also enjoying the Yoruba movies. Why? You've been listening to Nollywood Radio France. Keep checking on this website for new episodes of Nollywood Radio France. Like us on Facebook. You can also log in to our website www.nollywood-france.com.